afternoon from beautiful Brisbane, Australia, and welcome back to Healing from Complex PTSD. My name's Linda, and you're part of our global family, and thank you for being here. Today, we're going to look at the top 5 fears that stop adults with CPTSD from reaching out. So literally, this is number 1 of the top 5 fears. Because when it comes to complex trauma, it's involved. It's not just one thing, one and done, that's it. Everything that happens within us is multi-layered because it happened in childhood and it impacted our brain in ways that we've yet to explore. And because without the level of depth of information that I can provide for you, we don't get well and recover. And more than anything, that's what we want. So for us, the fear number 1 reason why we don't reach out to other people is because we fear being judged or seen as weak. So do you ever want to reach out for help, but your brain whispers, don't, they'll think you're weak? It's one of the hardest things to explain, isn't it? That push-pull between wanting connection and feeling safer staying silent. Maybe you feel that deep shame and self-blame, even though none of this was ever your fault. Maybe part of you still believes that if you show your pain, people will turn away or misunderstand you. And you've probably spent years holding it all together with strength, control, and independent, because that's the only way you've ever felt safe. And maybe the thought of asking for help makes you feel exposed, like you lose credibility or somehow look less capable. So you stay quiet. You keep functioning, keep surviving, keep putting on that outer exterior that all's well in my world, because that's what always worked. For adults living with CPTSD, though, this fear runs really deep. So your brain learned that showing pain once led to judgment or rejection, so now it protects you by staying quiet. It's not weakness, it's wiring. Your survival brain was trained to value control, to predict threat, and to avoid anything that could feel like rejection. But here's the truth. Reaching out isn't about getting help. It's about rebuilding connection. Every safe conversation, whether it's with me, another adult, or a supportive group, starts to rewire your survival brain towards safety. And that means that you're giving your brain literally the experience of being safe to talk to someone, even if I'm not actually feeling safe. So survival brain trumps everything. So we can be in survival brain and be absolutely flooded, overwhelmed, feel like we can't function. And remember, and is the biggest word in our recovery. We can actually begin to make a choice to say, I'm going to brave it and reach out. Okay? So you're not asking for anyone to rescue you. You're giving your brain a new experience in a way where connection doesn't equal danger. Okay? So from a brain perspective, the old pattern says reaching out means risk. It means also risking rejection, judgment, or losing control. But when healing begins, the meaning changes. Reaching out becomes creating safe connection with yourself, another adult, or a community, so your brain can finally experience belonging instead of isolation. That's why connection is so powerful for trauma recovery. It's not about seeking help, it's about co-regulation through safety. So internally, we may not feel regulated when we do reach out, and when we do reach out, we find someone safe, and somebody who actually literally understands us, okay, our whole internal system, it can acknowledge and have the experience of, I am safe, okay? It's not admitting failure, it's choosing as an adult to allow support. And it's not dependence. You begin to experience interdependence. And it's not about getting fixed. It's about being witnessed to, because connection heals what disconnection created. So if you catch yourself hesitating, if that voice whispers don't, they'll think you're weak. Or if you've got that voice that screams and says, no damn way, we're not going there, it's not happening, know that you get to choose as well which direction you want to go this one day. So just know that all of this time your brain has been trying to protect you, but healing begins when you take one small step towards safe connection. That's how your brain learns that belonging can be safe again. Reaching out isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the moment your survival brain starts to believe, I'm safe enough to heal. So now it's time just to take a moment and think about what we've talked through, rewind and revisit what we've spoken about. Take some time to do some journaling if you need to about what you've learned in this session in regards to what your brain's been doing for you. Let me know where in the world you're from and what's been happening for you in regards to fear of reaching out. And then you have options once you understand what's been happening for you internally. And we run a free Facebook peer support group. It's free. And the admins in there are all trauma trained, not just trauma informed. And you can begin to reach out in safety. It's an incredibly safe, nourishing, kind environment. You'll see the link down below. If that's not what you need and you need next to reach out to myself or one of our trauma recovery coaches, you can find the information on my website for myself or any other coach around the world, because they too have been there and witnessed, and they are trauma trained. They're not just trauma informed, which doesn't work for complex trauma. Okay, that's another video you can look up in my list, is trauma informed or trauma trained, and that will tell you in black and white exactly why trauma informed doesn't work for complex PTSD, for developmental trauma. Okay, take it one step at a time. And I know that you want to rush in and have it all done yesterday. But what happened to our brains and our whole self, what conditioned our brains as a child, takes time for our brain initially and then our whole self to reconnect and come together. And integration isn't a one-off event, okay? There's a number of things that happen throughout integration. And they're challenging, okay? It's challenging doing this work. But from my heart to yours, thank you for coming and joining in. And if you need a question answered, you can also go to my website under the resources and find the questions page. I'm doing, my latest course will be on sexual abuse recovery. You can ask a sexual abuse question on that page, or you can ask a general question, and I will do my best to answer them all by video as much as often as possible. Have an absolutely beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and remember to smile, and you are loved and needed here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.